Good morning. One of the things I'd like to talk about today is taking a chance, right? Taking chances in business and learning from other people when you least expect it. You know, one of the best examples I think I can give you today is this. I want to show you a picture, right? And I'm going to tell you a story. Can you see that? Right? You're probably looking at this going, what is that? Let me tell you what it is. So my wife tells me that I'm a hoarder and that I keep everything in the world. So a couple of months ago, I'm at home and I'm going through some boxes in our basement. And some of it is my grandparents' items that when they passed away, I kept. For those of you that like to chastise me on keeping everything, let me tell you why sometimes that's important. There was a small box that said 1963 California. 1963 California. I'm like, Well, for those of you that have been around me, a lot of people call me a wild brain, or I chase squirrels and rabbits and horses and cows and anything that comes into my mind. So I call that creative. You call it whatever you want, but thank goodness I got an awesome wife that reels me in when I'm getting too far out there, or I got a harebrained idea. But I opened the box. In it was this book. A book from 1963 that Walt Disney put together for people that came to his Disneyland theme park. Now, why does that connect to me, right? I'm not saying I'm Walt Disney, but what I am saying is this. I'm Dean Goforth, and I am outside of the box from a creative and a wild, crazy idea standpoint, and you're all the Imagineers. I get to have an awesome, crazy thought, and I get to be me, and I got all these awesome people around me that then inspire me, and I inspire them, and it just becomes a great, wonderful, creative moment, idea. And the things that come out of that are, I don't even have the word awesome. Awesome is the only thing I could say. The things that make us unique from everybody else is we're doing and living the things that we talk about from a creative standpoint. When I say we're changing the world and we are disrupting industries, we're doing it because we all have the freedom to think outside the box, but we all also learn from each other. I'll give you another example. So another good friend of mine, we actually lease our office in Mobile, Alabama from him. He's 85 years old, and like I've said before, I'm like a sponge. Talk to me about the things that you see me doing that I might need to change, but also talk to me about you and your life and what you're doing and what you've done and how things have made your business better. So Mr. Henderson tells me, or my friend in Mobile tells me, this unique story one day. Those of you that know me know that I firmly believe if you're going to invest, you need to be willing to invest in yourself first and foremost, because if you can't invest in yourself and make more money than you can in the stock market or real estate or other things, why are you doing it? Right? So I got a pretty good balance. Mostly, I'm going to invest in us first, but I also believe in taking part of what we make and investing it in other things so that we're diversified as a company. I like stocks. I like Warren Buffett. I like what he's done. The thoughts behind it, Charlie Munger, his partner who recently passed away, and just listening and understanding what made them make the decisions that they made, because they're way older than me. I mean, heck, I'm only 45. How awesome is that? And they're 90 and 100 and still making decisions. I got a long way to go. So Mr. Henderson was telling me about his sister. It lives at Augusta and the golf tournaments that they have there. And he was there. His wife was at home. He was there. He's sitting in what they have, this little area that has a few cabins or houses in it that only the elite really get to stay there, if that's the right word to use. Maybe the people that know people. Let me say it that way. The people that know people that know people. Or they made a difference and people want them to be there because it enhances the experience for everybody else when they're there at the golf tournament. So he's sitting at this fire pit, and this gentleman walks up. He doesn't really know who he is at the time. And the guy walks up and introduces himself to Mr. Henderson and says, "How are you? I'm Mr. Buffett." Can you believe? I can't even imagine, even though Mr. Henderson told me how he felt and what happened. He's like, "Wait a minute, you're Warren Buffett?" He said, "Yes, sir. How you doing?" And sat down beside him. One of the richest people in the world, most successful investors in the world, is sitting beside him, and they're having small talk. Listen, there are people that pay millions of dollars to spend time with Warren Buffett. The Oracle is what they call him, the Oracle. So they get to talking, and finally Mr. Buffett asks Jim, "So tell me what you do." And he's in the lumber business. Mobile lumber. Usually I don't like mentioning names, but in this particular instance, I think it's important for you to understand the story. And Mr. Henderson, kind of like me, from an investment standpoint, or just if you're going to buy something standpoint, you always want to get the best deal, right? We always focus on, is that the best price? Some people ask, some people like me ask, and then they ask again, because if you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't ask, you don't know if they'll give you a discount on what somebody's trying to sell you. So Mr. Buffett said, "That sounds like an interesting business. You sell lumber." And Mr. Henderson said, "Nope. This is what resonated with me." He said, "We're in the service business. We just sell lumber." Wow. That's the same way we think. We're in the service business. We take care of our customers. We help them run their business. We identify how we can complement that. So we're in the service business. Whether we're cleaning a commode, striping a parking lot, working in a distribution plant, doesn't matter what it is, we serve them. And that's what Mr. Henderson told Mr. Buffett. He said, "Interesting. So tell me about how your business has grown." And he told him, and then he said, "But I got one problem that's currently facing me, and I'm trying to figure out what to do." Mr. Buffett said, "What's that?" He said, "There's this one location that is on I-10, or just off of I-10, and I believe it's in downtown Mobile. Maybe a little bit wrong. But anyway, you get the point." He said, "And I've watched it over the years, and different businesses have been there doing what I do, but they haven't been successful. And now it's for sale again, but they want $3 million. And I just can't pay that." Mr. Buffett said, "Why not?" He said, "Because 3-4 years ago, I could have bought it for half that." So he's thinking about what he should have paid several years ago, but what it would cost him today. Now, I'm not sure how many years ago, but let's just say 84 minus 10, 74. He's 74 years old. Warren Buffett is maybe in his 80s at that time, I don't know. But here's the point. Like many of us, you focus on what's the cheapest you can pay for it. Listen, I've been the world leader at thinking that for years. I wanted to buy something at the best possible price. And cheapest is usually the word that comes to mind more often than most. Now it's what's the most economical for me, in my language and the way I think. Because here's the story. Warren Buffett said, "You got a piece of paper?" Mr. Henderson got a piece of paper. "You got a pen?" Gave him a pen. Mr. Buffett said, "Tell me about your business." Listen, people pay millions of dollars for the advice that he's getting because of a casual conversation two businessmen started having about what they love to do. He told him about the business. He said, what's it going to cost you to buy the property? $3 million. What's it going to cost you to improve the property so that you can run the business like you want? He told him. What's it going to cost you to operate it? He told him. Based on what you know, what's it going to cost you to run this facility? Mr. Buffett said, okay, did the math, looked at Mr. Henderson and said, you need to buy the property. Jim said, I went, what are you talking about? I could have bought it several years ago for half. Now they want 3. What do you mean I need to buy it? He said, stop thinking about getting the best price and think about what the location will do for your business. How will it impact your business? Sometimes it's not about what is it going to cost you today. It's about what is the impact it will have on your business in the future based on where you see your business going. Forget about how much it's going to cost you for the piece of real estate and think about how is that going to impact you running your business the way you do successfully in other areas. So, should have bought it a couple years ago, but you didn't do it. Maybe the time wasn't right. But today, is it valuable to you based on your use and your vision for your business? Mr. Henderson said, oh my gosh, I went home and I talked to my wife, which I do a lot of too, and I talked to my son, and they both said, we don't need to pay the price, Dad, husband. We don't need to pay that amount. Mr. Henderson said, and I valued their advice, Dean. But at the end of the day, I decided I'm running the business. I'm taking the risk. They are my partners, but I own 100% of the stock and we're going to do it. It's kind of some of the same things I've done in the past when people around me have said, you don't need to do that, really? Why? And they couldn't give me a good valid reason, but I knew inside it was the right thing for us to do as a business. Guess what? He probably wouldn't share this with many people, but I'm sharing it with you because it's somebody older than me that shared a story with me that's helped change my life forever. He said, I made the choice. We bought it, Dean. And today that is the #1 retail facility selling lumber and other items in our business. On a chance, meeting someone that's successful, totally different perspective on business, has learned, but was willing to sit down, and just because you got 2 guys that's been in business for a long time, exchanging war stories together, which listen, I'm sure Warren Buffett and Jim Henderson were used to people coming to them with their hand out, wanting something for free because they've been successful. But you got 2 guys that didn't know each other, sat down, started talking, shared information with each other, and no matter how long Jim had been doing this, learned something valuable from someone else. That's what it means to share information with each other, to always be looking and asking and not thinking that we know it all. We'll never know it all till the day we die. We always need to be willing to think outside the box and listen to someone else, because in those exchanges of information, you get nuggets that may change your life, right? I'm not just talking about what we do in business. I'm talking about helping each other. I'm talking about listening. I'm talking about sharing ideas. Personal experiences, what we've seen, why it's worked, why other people have failed, why we've been successful. If we're not willing to share that with each other, and if we're not willing to become close enough friends and confidants in each other that we can say, that's a screwed up idea, we don't need to do it. Or, that's an awesome idea, we need to do it, as long as we don't break the company or put it in bankruptcy. That's what makes us unique. That's what's always going to make us innovative. That's how we're going to continue. That is how we continue to help our customers and ourselves. Back to what I've said many times. Be creative. Take a chance. Change the world. Be excited about what you're doing, and the money's a byproduct of being willing, of your willingness to take risk. Pretty awesome if you ask me. Hope this has helped you not only in our business evolution, but in your personal life as well. because the decisions that we make together affect our business. And if our business is successful because of our willingness to share and work together and exchange ideas and learn from other people, we're always going to be ahead of everybody else. Thank you very much.